Hi, this is Anna Horford, and you're listening to Horford Happy Hour. Welcome to another episode of Horford Happy Hour. It is my 10th episode, and I want to thank everyone who's tuned in so far. You guys are awesome. And I also just want to thank everyone at CLNS. This would not be possible without you guys, and I just really appreciate it. All right, so the guest this week is my brother, Al Horford. Hey, Al, how's it going?
Hey, I'm doing great.
Good. And I'll be asking him questions with our brother, Josh. How you doing, Josh?
I'm good.
All right, well, thank you, geeks, for joining me. And today we are drinking my favorite Prosecco called La Marca. I actually had it for the first time about a year ago in Boston with Amelia, who is Al's wife and our sister-in-law. And it's been one of my go-tos ever since. So believe me when I say it's good stuff. I highly recommend it. So we have a lot of questions lined up, and I asked you guys on Twitter what you wanted me to ask Al. So can't wait to get into it. Here we go. You guys ready?
Yep.
Let's do it.
So Al, did you always want to be a basketball player, or was there something else that you ever wanted to do?
I honestly always wanted to be a basketball player. I think that growing up watching our dad play basketball, that's something that really stuck with me from an early age. I thought it was so cool, the ability to, play on a team, to be able to play the game of basketball and to travel around. That was something that always really called my attention. So I honestly, as long as I can remember, I've always wanted to play basketball.
Yeah, for sure. So if you weren't playing basketball, is there something else you'd want to be doing right now?
That's a great question, and for me, it always changes. Over the years, I've thought about maybe, I would get into doing some TV. But now the older I get, I think that coaching is pretty cool. So I would be open to maybe coaching one day. I don't know if if at a pro level or college level, but definitely making an impact, with kids and development.
All right, Josh, you're up.
Hey, so who's your favorite SpongeBob character and why?
Right into the fire, huh? Well, my favorite character is Patrick, as you guys probably know. People don't know that, but just he's very careless, just like a simpleton, right? But I just like Patrick. I just think that he's hilarious, and he really makes my SpongeBob episodes every time I watch it.
Yeah, do you have a favorite quote?
You know what? Probably my favorite. There's a lot of Patrick quotes, but the one that I like is when they go see the giant seashell perform, and Patrick plays detective. So he's playing detective, and then he runs into SpongeBob, and he's like, this is it. All the clues are coming together. And and then he kind of goes off and he pretty much dissects everything, and traces the peanut all the way to SpongeBob. And the quote is a little too long, but it's just the beginning part when he his face and his smirk, and he's saying, this is it. All the clues are coming together. That's just that's got to be probably my favorite Patrick line.
Yeah, Josh was saying that his favorite character was Mr. Krabs.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
But I can't stand Mr. Krabs. He is so greedy.
Yeah.
But
I like Mr. Krabs, too.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of makes the show, though, so. Alrighty, so is there a college teammate that you miss playing with the most? And what do you miss the most just in general about the Gator days?
Honestly, I there's not a teammate in particular. I would say that I really miss the team in general. All the guys that were on that team. That was a very special team, and not everybody always just remembers the starters, maybe, but just the whole team in general. We were such a tight group. What I miss the most is about how, with that team, there was never any. All we cared about was, winning and playing the right way and trying to make history. That was something that we talked about. But just the freedom that we played with, and how together we were as a group. It's something that's, very special. And it was something that, that definitely that I miss. I miss just being around those guys. They're a great group of guys. Just being able to hang out with them and going into practices, going into games, just spending time together. That's definitely something that I miss from the Florida days.
Yeah, definitely. And you guys just like had such a unique team too, just your bond and everything you guys went through together, and you had all these different personalities, but somehow when you put it all together it really worked.
Yeah,
So
no,
yeah.
yeah, that was the cool thing, that we were so different in many ways, different personalities, like you said. But I think that what made us bond was the fact that we wanted to win and play the game the right way.
Yeah, for sure. So that's got to be like the recipe for two national championships. So go ahead, Josh.
What are the biggest challenges you face balancing fatherhood and life as an NBA player?
I think that the biggest challenges that we face is just or that I faced at least, is just the grind of what it takes to be an NBA player. So the commitment that you have to make in order to to be great, and that's sacrificing a lot of the things that that other people want to do or can do. So making sure that you're eating the right way, making sure that that you're putting in extra work on the court, on your body. It's a lifestyle. It's just the way that it is. So I think that in order for me to be in this level and be successful, it's it's all about making sacrifices. So those are the things that I've had to do.
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't think people realize how hard it can be, especially when you have kids. Like you and Ian are obviously best friends, and Aaliyah adores you too. So just being away from them has got to be super, super tough.
Yeah, no question. I'm very blessed and fortunate to to be able to start my own family, and yeah, that's definitely a hard part. And obviously, the older the kids get, the tougher it will be.
Hmm.
But Amelia is holding the fort down at all times, so I feel good about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, this one's kind of random, but it's funny because it's kind of like an ongoing thing on social media. So, people will tweet me about how fantastic your eyelashes are, like all the time.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just sitting here and I'm like, okay, yeah, thanks for just constantly reminding me that my brother has nicer eyelashes than me. So is that something that you get all the time?
Yeah. I mean, I've always, throughout my life, since I was, it's since I was real young, I've
Yeah.
always heard that, and it's just happened to be that way. But it's pretty funny because a lot of people do notice it. A lot of people bring it up, and it is what it is. I just think it's pretty funny.
Hey, so have you talked to Curry about his flat Earth theory?
You know what? I've been meaning to, and honestly, I haven't yet. But that's something that it's in my list of things that we need to do. So I think the next time that we probably grab a team dinner or something, I'm going to spark that conversation. We
Yeah.
definitely need to get to the bottom of it. So,
No doubt.
that's definitely on the list.
Yeah, I definitely think that's something the world wants to know. So you got to let us know once you find that out. All right, so this is kind of another random one, but the people of Twitter would like to know, what is your skincare regimen? And I think this is especially funny because people comment on like all of our skin, and I don't know if it's because we're Dominican or just because of genetics. So, is there something special that you do? Do you have a secret?
Oh yeah, I got a secret formula, just like the Krabby Patty. You gotta. But I'll tell everybody, it's soap and water. So,
What?
so soap, you wash you're taking a shower, you're washing your face, soap and water. So,
No, I feel like you're hiding it like Mr. Krabs. So just
nah,
don't.
that's straight up what it is. Yeah, I mean, I think probably it's a combination probably of that and, good, I mean, I guess genetics. But yeah, no secret here.
So how's it feel to be the team dad?
You know what? It's cool. It's cool. I've always, considered myself like one of the, even when I was younger, like early in the league, I always consider myself like one of the more, mature and role models or whatever on the team. So I remember being a young Hawk and being a bunch of vets around a bunch of vets. Like I always like was able to see eye to eye with them, even though they were much older than me. So now, it's just, it's normal and it's something that's pretty cool. It's something that I welcome and I try to help, the guys in any way that I can on the court, off the court, whichever way.
Yeah, for sure. And I had watched like the Gator Boys documentary or whatever, and Joe and Corey didn't obviously say that you were the team dad, but they said that you were like the mature one and the one who like kept everyone in line when need be.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's, again, it goes back to, I guess the team dad thing. But back then, I mean, Corey and Joe are older than me. And for that factorian as well. So, like, it wasn't like I could be their dad, right? But always that attitude, that mindset that, that I've always had. So, I think that it was true back then. And I feel like it's true now.
Yeah, absolutely. So I really like this one. If you could go back in time and give rookie Al any advice, what would it be?
I would tell him to start shooting threes way earlier. I think that, obviously I made the transition and I feel good about it and it's changed my game and helped me tremendously. But I think that if I would have just started, working on the repetitions, from my rookie year, and just kept shooting them, it would have made a huge difference. So I think that would be the one thing I could go back and say, just because the way that the NBA is, you have to be able to shoot the three ball in order to have a big impact in the game. You can still have an impact, but I think it's just it's a very strong weapon.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like maybe now it's more common for bigs to be shooting threes, as opposed to when, you were in college or even in high school. It just wasn't as common for, bigs to be going out and shooting from that deep. So,
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely tough. Coaches didn't want you out there, and with in part they had their arguments and their reasons, but also one of the things that they didn't want me doing was handling the ball and bringing the ball up the floor, which was something that I did anyways. I kind of defied it, and I'm glad that I did because it's always been a benefit to the teams that I've been in, and it's worked in my favor. And with the threes, I almost wish I would have, like I said, I would have worked on them earlier, but everything happens for a reason. And for me, right now it's working out and it's paying off. But I think that, the way that the game of basketball is going, I think eventually there's going to be no positions. Like everyone's going to have to be able to do everything. So shoot, defend, dribble the ball, like just do all phases of the game, in order to be on the floor. So I think that the more people wrap their head around that they don't have to be one thing in basketball or have a defined role, I think that, the better off the player or the person will be.
yeah, for sure.
So what kind of music you listening to these days?
You know what? I've always listened to a little bit of everything. There's really nothing, that's sticking out. I mean, I do. I actually been listening to, the one that I've been listening to lately that I've been getting into is the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Okay.
And it's and I've heard some of their music before, but like recently I've been listening to a lot more of their songs and stuff, and always good to listen to some Bob Marley. So that's, I always like listening to Bob. So those are probably, as of late, that's what I'm listening to.
Yeah, and you've always liked Bob Marley. I feel like that's always been like one of your go-tos.
Yeah. I mean, it's happy music, but it makes you, puts me in a good mood.
Yeah, for sure. So, one thing that a lot of people wanted to know was where do you get your motivation when it's such a long season? You guys play so many games.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that, for me, I really just want to be, the best player that I can. And it's one of those things that, uh, I want to be able to win an NBA championship. That's, one of the goals that I have. And, just thinking about that, that's, one of the things that really, it's not the only thing that drives me, but it's something that really motivates me and just, one of the things that I keep in perspective, and I'm always looking at ways of things that I can do, to be better. It's a long process. The game changes a lot, and you have to be able to change with it, and and it's an ongoing process. You can never, be satisfied or stay the same. So I always just try to keep pushing and pushing my limits and see, where I can get to.
Yeah, how are you holding up physically?
I'm doing okay. It's, throughout the course of the season, everybody goes through, having bumps and bruises and different things. And, sometimes your game suffers, but everybody has to go through it at some point or another. So for me, I'm just hanging in there right now. And I am starting to feel better, physically. So it's all about, for me, preparing myself and getting ready for the playoffs to make sure that I'm able to be at a high level and healthy. Most importantly, once that time of the year gets there.
I'd like to take a quick break to tell you guys about Beachbody On Demand. Beachbody On Demand is an online fitness streaming service that gives you unlimited access to a wide variety of highly effective, world-class workouts, personalized to meet your needs. Beachbody On Demand also includes extensive nutritional content, all proven to help people achieve their health and fitness goals. Some familiar brands include P90X, Insanity, 21 Day Fix, T25, and 3-week yoga retreat. Right now, I'm doing the 21 Day Fix. It's simple fitness, simple eating, and fast results. I love it because it involves quick and manageable 30-minute workouts, and it comes with an eating plan. This is something I really want to stick with, and I can't wait to see where I'm at in a couple of weeks. One of the things I love about Beachbody On Demand is that it's convenient. It's accessible on your computer, web-enabled TV, tablet, smartphone, or any other web-enabled device. There's no need to go to a gym or schedule a class. Everything is right there on your personal device. And if you're traveling, you can even do the workouts in your hotel room. There are over 600 different workouts that range from 10 minutes to over 1 hour. And lastly, it's affordable. Your annual subscription is cheaper than a gym membership. You guys need to give this service a try. Right now, my listeners can get a free trial membership when you text HHH to 303030. You'll get full access to this entire platform for free. Again, all the workouts and nutrition information free. Just text HHH to 303030.
What's your favorite thing about Boston?
My favorite thing about Boston, I would have to say there's a lot of things that I like. I mean, I really enjoy the food. They have a lot of really, really good restaurants, really good Italian places. The North End is an area that I've really grown to enjoy, and you just have like a bunch of little smaller Italian restaurants, and every now and then I'll have some gelato, which I love over there. So that's a really cool area in Boston. And then and just the fact that you can go out near the water, the ocean, at any point. That's something that I really enjoy, really relaxes me. So those are, some of the things that I really, really enjoy about living in Boston.
Yeah, for sure. So our next question is, who is the funniest teammate you've ever had? And do you have any examples?
The funniest teammate that I've had, I mean, I probably have to say Joakim Noah, and just because he was just so random that it was funny, the things that he did. And what I mean by being random, it's it was just him. We would walk to class when we were in school, and he would have a boombox, like an old school boombox, and he'll be playing, reggae music, dancing on his way to class, like like dancing in the middle of campus, and and we're all like super embarrassed to be walking with him because he's just dancing away, not caring one bit. Like, I mean, if social media was as big as it back then as it is now, like, I mean, he would have been going viral, and his videos would have been all over, ESPN and just Bleacher Report, like just all the major outlets. So, I think that, he's the guy that, that always, I would always get my laughs with.
Yeah, that's a good point. I thought you might say Corey Brewer, but I could definitely see Joe too. But that's a good point you made with the whole social media thing, because like that would have been everywhere. Like if Joe would have been in college now.
No doubt about it. He would have, he was already, I feel like a rock star when we were in school. I think now he would have been even bigger. So,
cake or pie, Al?
I'm not really big on desserts, but I mean, I would probably have to say, as far as cake goes, my favorite, it would have to be tres leches. It's just a really good dessert. So that would be the one, but that's not really my thing.
Those cake pops at Ian's birthday were pretty good, though.
Yeah, oh my God, those were fire.
So is there anything specific that you'd like to add to your game at all? Or you just want to maybe just keep working on what you're doing, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, for me, being able to drive to the basket more, so penetrate, attack, put pressure on the rim, I mean, it's something that that it's the next progression, I feel like. I think that when I started shooting the three ball, like, I probably was getting a lot of, go ahead and shoot it. But now that I'm able to shoot it, it's another part of my game that I haven't really done much of, but I feel like that I can be very good at, and it's something that, that I already been working on it, and I just hope to, become better at that aspect of the game, driving the ball to the basket.
Yeah, I know your trainer will definitely have you on that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Hey, so is it weird playing against former teammates?
You know what? It's not weird. I think for me, it's always like I'm always happy when I get to see, my former teammates. It's just always good to see a familiar face, get to catch up with them, talk to them, because, after you spend so much time with them, it's not even about, basketball. Like, you get to know them as people, and you're able to catch up on a personal level and see how they're doing, how they're feeling, how their families are. And that's usually what we talk about. Obviously, once the game starts, it's all business. But for me, it's just always good to, to be able to catch up and see former teammates.
I feel like that transition has got to be weird. Like, so you see them before the game and you're like, you're saying hi and you're catching up. And then like once the game starts, it's like you guys are, two different teams. I feel like that's gotta be, is it awkward?
No, it can be a little weird. It definitely can be. But now, when you've been in the league, for example, as long as I have at this point, you get a lot, pretty much every team you play, somebody there, or it's a former teammate or whatever. So, it's always going to be weird, I feel like, but, you have to be able to get past it. And, that's just the way it is.
So what was the toughest adjustment for you coming from Atlanta to Boston? And it doesn't even have to just be basketball, just like in general. Was there something that was just like kind of hard to like get over that hurdle but now you're good?
I think that for me, the transition just, after being in a place for so many years, and being used to how a lot of things were done, it was definitely, a change. But I think that the weather was probably the biggest thing, just because, in Atlanta you have much more mild winters, and in Boston it's heavy winter, it's cold, it's windy, snowy. Last year was like an adjustment period with that. Even though obviously, I went to high school I'm from Michigan, but, after you live in warm weather for such a long time, you kind of, forget, and it gets dark much earlier in the day, and just a lot of little things like that you have to get used to. So for me, that was the part that, that took me a while to get used to. But, this year's been much better. We are used to it now, and, we're actually enjoying it. And it's been, and now we're good.
Yeah, for sure. Being in the league, like as long as you've been in, do you ever get used to it? Like the whole routine and, before games, do you get anxious at all, or does that go away with time?
I think that everybody's different. For me personally, I mean, I'm used to the grind, the preparation, just getting ready for the games. I'm usually pretty calm. Like I know I have a pretty set routine. I know what to do. The one thing I always try to keep in perspective is just being appreciative of the opportunity that I have, and to be able to, to play in the NBA against the best players, and really just trying to make the most of it, and trying to always think team first. That's always my mentality. And that's the way that I look at things, and that's the way that I approach it.
Yeah, for sure. So our last question of the day is, what will it take for Boston to get its 18th banner?
I think that for us, it's gonna take focus defensively, and offensively, obviously both, but just the focus, the attention to detail, and in just everything that we do, in our preparation, in our everyday preparation, especially, when we get closer to the playoffs and once the playoffs start. So if we're able to prepare and we're able to, take care of ourselves, take care of our bodies, I feel like that is going to put us in a position to be able to reach that goal. I feel really good about the team that we have and the group. As the season has gone on, we've continued to get better as a group. We still have a ways, but I do feel confident about it. So I think that as long as that we're focused and we're taking care of ourselves, I feel like we'll be in position to accomplish that.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, and it's just gonna be awesome to see where you guys go this season. I'm really excited. So, yeah. This was fun. Thank you guys for submitting questions and for tuning in. You guys are awesome. And Al, thank you for taking the time to sit down to do this with us. We love you. And thank you, Josh, for helping me out today. Josh does have his own clothing line called Advanced Apathy Clothing, and you should check that out because it's super rad. And don't forget to subscribe to my podcast, please and thank you. Available on iTunes, Stitcher, and the CLNS Media Network. And I will talk to you guys next week.